WROL Broadcast. I am Hate Mail. With me today, I have Kage, M4, and French Fries, Juicy Fries, the leader of the Court of Owls. And today we're going to talk about Rebirth, and we want to just kind of talk through our strategies on Rebirth, because everybody kind of has their own mantra, ideals, but we thought it'd be a fun conversation, so we'll get right into it. I guess we'll start with you, Juicy Fries. I know you have a favorite character you like to Rebirth, so if you want to kind of talk
Yeah.
about your Rebirth strategy.
So my rebirth strategy is I like to focus on characters that I have a lot of fragments on him, and I know he's really strong. That he's going to be usable in all kinds of game modes, and that is going to what makes it quite annoying for some players. Uh, Typically, I'll go for strikers or tanks. So the strikers hit harder, and the tankers get extra tankier. So what I have rebirth right now is a RB3 CAGA, an RB3 Assault Warsuit Lex Luthor, an RB1 Harley Quinn, which I will upgrade to RB4 in the future, and of course Black Adam, who's RB3, and very soon to be RB4 as well. So that's my way of doing it. And I want to upgrade Hal Jordan to RB4 as well.
Do you have
So
him
I like
RB3 now, or do you Hal Jordan at all?
I mean, my Hal Jordan is not rebirthed, but I have 2,600. It's good enough for RB3, but I'm really working on him to make him RB4. He's going to be quite annoying because he's going to be a tank. Yeah, that's basically it. That's one approach. I know some people do it differently, and I am also that kind of player that only makes my characters level 70 and gear 11, and I only make the characters level 80, or as we say in the Owls, we bowsy them if I decide to rebirth them.
M4, what is your strategy for Rebirth?
So my strategy is focus on tunes that can counter popular ones. So like Booster and Castaway, Green Arrow. So I have them both at RB3. So the idea is, because I think they benefit once you get to RB3. So mostly focus on tunes that I can get there. But there are a few exceptions, though, like Alan Scott. He's just so damn good. I had to do it, even if I only have RB1 shards.
Yeah, what kind of got me to at first I kind of just I did Starfire just because I love Starfire, and then after just hoarding shards and mulling over it and being torn on what to do, I decided I loved my stun team so much. I rebirthed everyone in my stun team. I kind of regret rebirthing Catwoman a little bit now, even though she was useful in one siege. But now, with Catwoman being replaced by Booster Gold, I I don't want to rebirth anyone unless I can take them to Rebirth 3 or above, just because after facing Du Bois, Rebirth 3, Alan Scott, he's just such a nightmare. I decided that was really the good tipping point. But I made an exception for both Donna Troy, who I can't take above Rebirth 2, and Booster Gold, who I can't take above Rebirth 2. And now I'm hoarding Rebirth crystals again, debating on who to do next. I can take Black Adam to RB5, I can take Flash to RB5, and if Cyborg Superman gets an event next month, I'll probably farm the shards and take him RB5. Oh, and I can take Cheetah to RB5, even though I would never rebirth her. But I farmed her shards to RB5 like a moron. I have a couple other characters I could take really high that I wouldn't do. Um, I could take AW Lex to higher rebirth, but I don't know if he's worth it because there's so many other reds that are so good now.
Booster can do the job
Yeah,
much
I mean,
faster.
he's really good, but Booster's just
Well, he's really good because the most popular Rebirth character is Black Adam.
right.
And then also in Siege, Constantine is always there. So
Yeah,
he
because
can also
pretty much
solve that
every other
problem.
hour. Kage, you haven't rebirthed anybody?
I
One.
have DOJ.
Oh, okay.
That's about it. The
That's-
minute she gets reworked, I don't know. I
You're
might.
screwed.
Yeah, I know, right? We just talked about that. I don't know if she gets a rebirth, I might as well. If a rework, I might as well just go all in. I've farmed her to RB3. I have like 120 rebirth tokens, whatever.
She might be pretty scary at RB3, but if you go back to our Wraith Abuser episode, you will see why Kage's not rebirthing anybody.
Yep.
So there's another school of thought. So I know Sheriff Lobo and Ballsy does this. So I think they almost always rebirth tunes that will give them an edge in Siege. So any of the bonus tunes they do.
Which rebirthing
do-
Constantine might not be a bad idea since he seems like he's in Siege every other month.
No, it's a bad idea for us.
Yeah.
'Cause I hate him.
Well, we have rebirth booster gold, so it's not going to matter. So he's going to die on tier 1 either way, but
True.
I could rebirth him. But
So
I can only take him to RB1 though. So.
That MF booster never gets that true sight for me. I don't know why. He never gets true sight on turn 1.
I actually get it frequently. Not
Right.
as much as I'd like, but enough that it's okay.
My
Think of
RG
it
is
as a
pretty
bonus.
bonus.
Yeah, think of it as a bonus. Don't assume that he'll get it. Assume that he won't and plan for that. If he gets it, then great.
That's like the only little bit of RNG I get with any character. Which, I mean, granted, I've used up. And for those of you that were wondering why I was kind of MIA a little bit, I had a big time cancer scare. Something showed up on a scan, and I had to get a PET scan. It looked really ugly, but my RNG in real life kicked in, and it was all clear. So I am good to go.
Right, and now your DCL is screwed again, right?
Yeah, but my DCL is good, which you can see by the siege match I shared with you. So, where my Mira didn't proc a single time to any of the OEs.
That's
Yeah.
a good trade-off.
Yeah, I'll take
I
it.
would take the trade anytime.
But so
I think I don't
know
know.
what to do next.
I think tanks in general would really benefit from rebirth. Like my L5 Donna Troy gets one shot by an RB3 dead shot, no joke. Like
Mine can take
it's
the hit,
crazy.
and she's only RB2.
Yeah, so if you rebirth your tanks like Donna Troy to higher levels, she's gonna be annoying. I can tell you from fighting like Donna Troy rebirth levels, they're very annoying and hard to kill.
Yeah, I almost wailed on her shards last time, but it was an insane amount of gems to take her to RB3. Like 60,000, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Such a good financial plan for them. Gosh.
Yeah, they were quite smart. I mean, I still am surprised that rebirth tokens are still as rare as they are. Because if they were more frequent, you would spend on the shards more.
Yeah, if we get one like every 2 weeks in red alerts, that's not too bad, I think.
They should really just start dumping rebirth tokens into the game because there's no point in playing the game in 40 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get
Yeah.
it. I don't get it. Their strategy, their salespeople miss the boat so much. I don't understand. They mustn't have never gone to school for economics.
Well, they're so scarce that you're willing to buy those packs.
I
Those rebirth
guess,
packs.
but I mean, still, how much more would you spend on shards if you had tons of rebirth tokens?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I'd be able to answer that if they fix Wraith.
Quite a few people. Quite a few people. Oh, that's the other thing. I mean, you fix Wraith, you're going to make more money. Granted, there's a handful of us that are going to spend $35 a month to... Oh, that doesn't even have anything to do with it. I mean, there's a handful of us that used to spend a lot on trying to compete in Wraith, but all of us have given up. None of us compete. It's just the 10-point fighters that compete. So, I don't know. That's a whole nother side tangent, but it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, maybe there's some analytics that make sense, but I think if they were to even just try it, they would see. The problem is that if they dumped just a small small amount in initially, you have so many characters waiting to be rebirth that you got to use those up first. But as soon as you've exhausted all the characters that need it, that you want to rebirth, then you're going to start buying shards. And that's the other thing I don't understand too, on a side tangent, is why do you make, like, for example, Donna Troy, they've done a sale once in a blue moon, but why wouldn't you make it so that you have the opportunity to purchase these shards a little more frequently? Because if you love a particular character that hasn't showed up in like 4 years, I mean, I understand the scarcity and you're going to buy when it's scarce, but that person may not be in a financial position to purchase it at that time. So if you make these characters available a little more frequently, people are more inclined to buy them.
Yeah. That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense because a lot of the new players that come in, they're like, I have to imagine this is your first month playing DCL and you're stuck with Spectre as your first Mystic.
Yeah.
When there's like a million other better Mystics that you could have bought
But
and
say your
leveled up.
favorite character is Raven, or somebody, any of the other Mystics. But you have to wait a year to use them, or to even unlock them. I mean, that's crazy. Like, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just make it very expensive and make it available always, or make it at least more frequently? I just, sometimes I don't understand any of the logic of this game.
So WB, make rebirth crystals and fragments more more saturated,
More
please.
available. Just make it so that there's an opportunity to.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm really against the idea of loot boxes. I always think like for these games, the people could make so much more money if they allow the players to decide who they buy. Obviously, you can limit that a bit by having a selection of characters in a certain period, but you choose how much or what you want to buy from that pack. So you get what you want rather than just a sort of RNG fest where you just hopefully it shows up and hopefully it gives you the right amount. I'm just not into that thing.
I mean,
It's
DCL is a
basically
lot better than
gambling.
other games about that. They don't do the gotcha.
That is true because I mean I have played Marvel Strike Force for a whole year. I mean I got kicked out of the Alliance for messing up one raid. So I said, I'm just gonna just quit that game downright and just focus on DCL. And
That's probably for the best.
yeah. And what I have realized is I compared the prices between MSF and DCL. And yes, MSF has so much more content that can be very fun and it's very F2P friendly as well, free-to-play friendly. But the sell is really expensive for what you get. Like if you want to level up a character, I mean, you can spend like 200 a month in DCL. You get 500 fragments of that character, which is L2, almost L3, and you also get 50,000 gems that you can do so much for leveling. For the same amount of money, you cannot really do a lot in MSF. You probably have to spend like $700 to $800 just to max out a character, because every time it's just going to be, the value is going to be really bad, or sometimes you're subject to a lot of RNG just to get the fragments. And of course there's the whole red star thing in there, which is you just...
Yeah, they go to like Legendary 8 now or something insane.
It's called Red Star. Basically, it's our legendary ranks. So you get like an exponential stat boost, but you open these Red Star orbs, and it depends on it's RNG that decides what character you get like really high ranks. So imagine in DCL, you can only RB characters based on the loot box pack.
Don't give them ideas, Fries. Don't give them ideas. They do listen from time to time.
I swear to God, don't do this, okay?
They hear, MSF makes money doing this. Let's do it.
But that was really, really bad. I'm glad DCL didn't go down that path. It's what makes me stay in DCL. So Warner Brothers, yes, you may not earn a lot of money, but you're still getting 200 pounds per month from me. So good for
It's
you.
insane how much money mobile games are. I mean, they're just, when you really think about it, it's like I spent $60 on the new Call of Duty that's coming out, and I'm like, that's, I may occasionally buy like a cosmetic pack here and there, but that's it. I'll play it
Yeah.
for a year.
Yeah, and on that, I'm actually glad Siege is a thing because Siege actually allows me to spend less money every month now because the reason I spend £200 per month is to make sure that every character can stay at L5. But since Siege happens now, I can, without buying any Siege energy, I can stay around top 60. And there's a PvP event afterwards as well. I only need to buy one pack, so I'm spending less money as well. So it's good for me, and it keeps me happy to carry on with the game.
Hey,
So,
stop! Don't
yeah.
admit that you're spending less money. Not gonna be very happy.
I got a lot
No,
of editing to
but
do in this episode.
but on the other point, if they increase the price again, they'll drive away a customer, which is not good. And I mean, I have played this game for 3 years, so I imagine, like, from all of us in ours, if we quit the game, I don't think I'm going to play any mobile game anymore. I'm just so invested in this game. It's part of my life now.
Yeah,
Every
It's not
morning I
just
wake
the
up.
game, it's our community,
I think
right?
that's the same for most
If
games.
we
Exactly,
don't
yeah.
talk to each other, I mean, we're really bad influences. We should stop talking to each other.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, we
exactly.
would have all quit a long time ago, for
Every
sure.
morning I wake up, I use my energies, I do my PvPs, I go to line to see if there's any prim talk. Uh, yeah,
He's
just
been a
so
little quiet lately, actually.
it's been a bit quiet lately.
He sounds normal, actually, which is not
Yeah,
normal.
because honestly, prim talk destroys the brain cell every time you say something.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
got
a
to get him back on
doctor,
the podcast.
so
He was one of our most popular guests of all time.
yeah. And I'm a doctor, so I have to keep my brain cells so I can actually treat people.
I do have a
Oh.
Rebirth-related question.
What's that?
Who is the scariest Rebirth that you fought or faced?
Um,
I would say Wonder Girl still.
That RB3 Wonder Girl that Vincent has is horrifying.
Yeah, but Booster
I
can take
cannot
her.
one-shot her. My dead shot will not one-shot her, and he's full gear 11.
I am not
ah,
scared of any mystics. You know who the scariest I faced?
That woman.
Batwoman. Yes! God damn that woman.
She's
She
pretty
is
scary.
nasty.
She's
I've
pretty
never
scary.
seen more than an RB1, but that RB1, her out
Yes,
of
that's the
turn hits,
yes,
it's scary. I
that's
think
the
if she was an
insane part of
RB3,
it.
that would be super scary.
is it because she's really fast?
Well,
Yeah,
it's not that, it's the out
yeah.
of turn hits every time you can't kill her, and then every turn you hit anybody.
Okay. So here's the school of thought
Mhm.
against Batwoman, right? You're gonna use Donna Troy, so you have the awareness, right? But the cooldown on that stupid kick move is 2. And she's invisible. So she will this in Siege, in Raid it's fine, right? But in Siege, if she gets another turn, someone's gonna die. Even if you're a green, she doesn't care.
That Rebirth
Listen,
Alan Scott, though, is
that and
one of my
yeah,
favorites.
every time you do a hit out of turn, she'll poke you, and then that chip damage,
Yes, it hurts.
Yeah.
it's I think it's 8%, 10% chip damage. It's scary.
I'm more annoyed the fact that the chip damage just removes all the awareness in my team
Yeah.
Yeah.
because everyone knows I always run the Owls team. Yes, it's easy to beat, but the matches are just so much quicker. I can just get it done.
Yeah, sometimes I wish I had
Yeah.
rebirth that team just to run auto more.
I used to be scared of the boys, Alan Scott, but since I got booster, yeah,
Yeah,
even
he's not as
the
bad. He's not
yeah,
nearly as
even
bad.
the RB5 Black Adam's like, yeah, okay.
I don't know. I think the scariest character I've encountered is it's not just like I wouldn't say he's terrifying, but he's just generally annoying. Is Hal Jordan. in a high rebirth.
Yeah.
It's just so difficult to kill him.
I just save him for last, and he's fine.
Yeah, but you better be spending at least 2 years on that. You might as well put the game on auto, go make yourself a sandwich. And then...
I actually do that. I put it on auto and then come back.
Booster solves so many problems. Booster just kicks under the shield, so just if you turns and he goes down.
I hope we get more characters that kick under shields because I'm really annoyed with the HAL meta.
Like the two great mystics that punch under shields. We have two great mystics, right? Spectre and Blue Beetle. They're the perfect counter, right? They're mystic, special. No, one special damage. No, actually, no. They're both not special damage. They
Actually, you
both
don't want
punch
him to
under
do
the
special
shield.
damage against Hal anyway. You want him to be...
Well, he's a mix. Yeah, he's a mixed tank. He doesn't care.
Booster is. If booster shards become available, I will be taking him RB5.
How can Spectre suck so bad? I just don't get it.
No, there's a full episode about it.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let's wrap this up so we can do our patron only. And if you're not a patron,
Okay.
this is your chance. Become a patron only episode. We're going to give Siege and Raid tips. And good ones this time, not just the generic ones. I'm going to give a little bit of our secrets away since I'm for... you'll probably yell at me, but we'll do it anyway. All right.
Hey everyone, it's Tootytron. Thank you for listening to the WROL Broadcasts. If you like the show, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/WROL Broadcasts. Me and Hank gotta go, because Kage asked us for some dating tips. See you next time.